Child Advocate San Antonio was founded in 1984 to provide a voice for abused and neglected children who enter the foster care system in Bexar County. For many of these children, the volunteer advocates become the most stable, consistent person in their lives, the one constant that will speak up for their best interests and assist them in their journey through the foster care system. The volunteers work with teachers, counselors, and other specialists in the child's life and then report back to the judge, who can then make a well-informed decision about their future. Our objective is twofold. First, to find a safe and permanent home for each child as quickly as possible. Second, to break the cycle of abuse and neglect. Many of the children in foster care come from families with generations of abuse, and it is important for us to assist in breaking this cycle. In most cases, our volunteer advocates strive to reunite the children with their families. When that is not possible, the advocates will look for other family members or adoptive families who can provide a safe, loving, and permanent home. Our vision is to provide a CASA volunteer for every child in Bexar County that needs one. Our challenge is to find enough community volunteers and the financial resources required to support them as the number of abused and neglected kids continues to increase. Child Advocate San Antonio is a unique organization in that we leverage our mission by providing well-trained community volunteers to advocate for the best interest of the children we serve. There is no other organization that offers these types of services. We know that children who are assigned an advocate spend less time in foster care, are less likely to re-enter the foster care system, do better in school, and are generally happier and more likely to lead productive lives than those without an advocate. Child Advocate San Antonio specializes in recruiting, selection, and training of community volunteers. These individuals, who often come to us with no prior experience, are trained to effectively navigate the social welfare and court systems to advocate for the children we serve. After training and passing an extensive background check, each advocate is assigned to a professional casework supervisor to assist them along the way. Each casework supervisor works with only 30 advocates, so they receive professional guidance and advice. Our volunteers generally handle one case at a time, thus becoming an expert on the child's situation. We measure constancy, impact, and judicial agreement. Constancy for us measures whether the same volunteer starts and finishes the case. Impact measures the positive influence a volunteer has on the child's long-term well-being. Finally, we measure whether or not the judge agrees with our recommendation. In all three of these, we consistently score 90% or better. We play a unique role in a child's abuse and neglect case. In Texas, each child entering the foster care system is assigned a caseworker and an attorney ad litem, both of whom CASA works with closely. Even though we work collaboratively, we don't always agree with their findings. The value we bring to the court is our ability to remain objective and focused only on the best interest of the child. Our judges depend on our objective, independent view to assist them in making well-informed decisions. Despite the economic downturn in 2008, we have still managed to recruit more volunteers and represent more children. We know that children who have a CASA volunteer spend significantly less time in the foster care system, are 50% less likely to re-enter that system, and generally achieve better grades in school than kids without a CASA volunteer. Usually, judges appoint CASA to the most difficult cases, which is a testament to our volunteers' ability to provide the judges with independent and objective facts surrounding the case. With this responsibility comes the challenge of providing enough volunteers, supported by the necessary resources, to meet the demands of the judges. Each year since 2006, our volunteer base has grown by 7%. Unfortunately, however, the rate of abuse and neglect in Bexar County has grown by more than 8%. The net effect is we continue to be challenged to keep pace with the rising need for our services. CASA has established funding diversification, and our future is not tied to a single funding source. However, should a grantor shift their support, it could and would affect the number of children we represent. It costs CASA approximately $1,100 to provide a court-appointed advocate for one child for 1 year. With increased resources, we can continue to grow and develop staff, maintaining a personnel base that is knowledgeable in identifying emerging trends, statistical information, and community resources. Approximately 60% of the children entering the foster care system go without knowing the stability and, more importantly, the hope that a CASA advocate can provide. Year after year, thousands of children are left to languish in foster care. They oftentimes age out of the system, only to enter into society completely unprepared to deal with the harsh realities of adulthood. CASA is committed to a simple but positive mission: helping to change the world for every abused and neglected child.